friends, brothers and sisters. I have been associated with the Theosophical Society and also the Theosophical Order of Service. And we also have a small movement called World Care Way. Today, I would like to try and investigate together with you as to what we should be doing at this moment in time. Now, when each of us says, I am a theosophist, what does that mean? Of course, it is one who seeks truth, and it is one who pursues divine wisdom. But in this world, around the current set of circumstances, as we have been told, a theosophist is a philanthropist. And we have also been told that he lives for others and not for himself. Let us quickly see what are the current set of circumstances. The world around us has been plunged into an ocean of sorrow where one did not even have the time to analyze as to why it happened, except conjectures on how the entire thing could have started and spread. Of course, I am talking to you about the coronavirus or COVID-19. Before we get into what we should be doing, I would like to briefly dwell on why these things happen. I had recently authored a book called Karma, and I also had an opportunity to, in the past, read the works of theosophists and see them represented in more recent form. I would like to tell you that the world was steeped in negativity, negative thoughts, negative words, negative actions, some of which or most of which were even evil. And these evil thoughts were created and they became potential forces on a subtler plane of consciousness. Now, whether it is theosophy or many other religions, we are all aware of the astral plane, the astral light, and we have been taught that negative things gather around what are called elementals and start operating against human beings. In a way, it is like a Frankenstein's monster. You create these forces which affect you. So therefore, it is very important for us to understand that not only do we need to address the current situation, but to learn to be kind, compassionate towards human beings, towards animals, and towards the plant kingdom. Now, therefore, we should understand that it is human karma that has created this whole set of circumstances, and in this context it is called collective karma. Collective karma of people who belong to countries, collective karma of people who belong to religions, to castes, and to every other group which perpetrates some form of evil and cruelty upon other sentient beings. So, first of all, let us try and see, to start, what should we do. But before that, I would like to draw your attention that the ocean of karma, if you believe in a number of lives, the ocean of karma is called Sanchita. That portion which has been set aside for this life is called Prarabdha, which we are suffering now and experiencing, even enjoying. And when I say enjoying, it is in other matters, not in this. And the third is Agami. Agami is what should we do. So let me quickly go to the third one, which is Agami. What should a philanthropist do? Under these circumstances, as a management person, I would say he or she should look at oneself and analyze one's strengths and capabilities. What am I good at? What can I do right now? What are the resources available to me? So, a person might be having excellent communication, a person might have excellent fundraising skills, a person may have excellent medical skills, a person may have excellent technical skills. So we should go towards that. And then we have to look around us and we should find opportunities that match our capabilities. There is no point in trying to do things that we are not capable of. But once we find such things, it is always important for us to consider whether they are nice to do things or need to be done things. Very often we go towards nice to do things. For example, things that get us publicity or things that provide photo opportunities. Now, it is better to go towards need to be done things and try to see how silently we can do it. Because a philanthropist is not looking to taint his social work or philanthropic work with selfishness for the sake of his own publicity. Now, the next very important thing is make a plan, gather people and resources. Now, resources doesn't mean only money, but also includes money. And to a large extent, from our experience, we would say that when you have people don't have so-called leadership roles and egotistical possibilities, but rather roles where each person has a functional responsibility. So don't say, I am the president of this group or I am the leader. No. We are all servants of humanity and of all sentient beings. So therefore we gather as a group and to the best extent possible, let us not handle too much or even a little money. Let us try and see if we can channelize other resources like relief material, money, everything towards the beneficiary group. That becomes very important because sometimes there are problems in accounts and people get a bad name. So my practical suggestion is, if you find a donor and if you find a beneficiary, connect the two, manage the project and publicize it to the donor and not to the entire world necessarily, unless that publicity helps you raise more money and resources and you are able to handle it with complete integrity to the last penny. Now, once we have got all these ideas, we should get moving. And let me tell you that I can perhaps give you 3 examples. One is fundraising for the persons affected. Now, when I look around me in my house, there are possibly people of the servant category, there are people of the watchman category, there are the people of the laundry, the kind of laundry work that people do, people who are vendors. There are so many who are not getting any income because of the lockdown and having to be, indoors. So therefore, we should try and find out if we can help them and direct the donations to them directly in some possible way. The second thing is the helping of migrant labor. See, India is a country with rich and poor, and there are many people who come from other parts of this country, which is a great thing, because India is one country. There are no, segregation. Somebody from the north can work in the south, somebody from the south can work in the north, east, west, whatever. It is possible in India. But that strength should not be converted into a weakness where the migrant labor are stuck because of the lockdown. So we should try and see and not just expect a government either at the state or central level to help these people, but try and see how much we can help them. So this is the second way. The third way is now to help the Corona warriors, as they are called these days. The armed forces have shown a great display of support, and at the ground level, what should we do? If there are families of people who are working and who are not able to take care of their children, you should offer that, yes, until this crisis is over, I will take care of your children. Or if they find that there is a time problem or some other problem, you should step in and try to see if you can help medical and front-end professionals, police people, and anybody, government officials, even NGOs. How can you help any of them during this crisis? Now, I would like to close this whole thing by sharing a few thoughts which are in line with what I spoke in the beginning about karma. Now, do you know that the word corona comes from crown? And if you look at it, the crown of thorns is a well-known symbol of suffering. And today, the world as such is wearing the corona, which is the crown of thorns. Secondly, what is it that we need during the coronavirus? In Sanskrit, there is, or is it in Hindi, I don't know, there is the word karuna, which is love, compassion. So exercise your compassion. I have one suggestion for groups of people who are keen on their own efforts to help and on the entire pandemic to dissolve. They had better gather in groups for a short while each day or on certain days, and have pre-decided thoughts of compassion which helps in the amelioration of the current condition of all sentient beings. And how do we do this? People have different ways of doing it. They can invoke their rishis, their gods, their great ones. But ultimately all these are the highest within oneself. So invoke the highest within oneself all at one time. Direct your forces, the forces within you, towards the suffering humanity. Those who are physically suffering, those who have lost their dear ones or are in fear of losing them, or those who have monetary problems or any other problems. Direct your thoughts of love and compassion with the force of the highest within you. Friends, my name is Maitreya, and I would also like to say, wherever I tell you about gathering of thoughts and all that, I mean it is not by gathering physically, but from a distance. So I think the highest within you is universal.